Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I've been on here, but mostly it's because I've been trying to, close things out with Amazon completely, and also I've been trying other things that we'll talk about a little later. But mostly, life, getting busy and stuff like that, and like I said, I'm trying to go back to my roots. I've been selling stuff like on Facebook a little bit and selling stuff on eBay and just trying to make money that way until because Amazon is over as far as I'm concerned, and I guess the question for today is, is Amazon dead for 2025, which we'll get into, but I do think that, the final update on my Amazon is that it's just over. I closed the account completely. They still send me emails about stranded inventory and stuff like that. Like we're 2 years later now, and they still send me emails about compliance documents and about they send me emails about compliance documents and about stranded inventory and stuff like that. Like I just got something back from them like less than a month ago, like 2 weeks ago. I just got something back from them, that was lost in my inventory. So they're awful. They're awful. So I think the answer to is Amazon dead in 2025 is not yet. It's dying for the third party seller, for the third party reseller. For resellers like us, it's dying for sure. They have just gone on full attack mode in the last year or two, especially this year, with a lot of these people that have they've gone full attack mode on a lot of these third party sellers because it's just one IP complaint after the other one, or a cease and desist, or a letter from a lawyer or something, inauthentic complaint, counterfeit complaint, and it's just nonstop. It is just nonstop. Plus the returns. They just recently implemented a policy, I think for the beginning of 2025, where they lose so much of your inventory that there's a website, I forgot what it's called because I used to use it, where this website would monitor your Amazon account for lost inventory. Then when they discovered lost inventory, they would automatically file a complaint with Amazon, and you would automatically be reimbursed. Like I was reimbursed like hundreds, sometimes $1,000, I'm talking about hundreds of dollars of lost inventory on a small third party seller like me, sometimes in the thousands. And they would automatically get my money back for me for like a small monthly fee. It was totally worth it. So Amazon, instead of saying, hey, listen, if we're losing money on lost inventory, maybe we should figure out why we're losing inventory all the time. Nah, that's not what they're going to do. They're going to screw you over instead. So what they did now is they decided that what they're going to do is they're not going to reimburse you the retail price or what you paid for the product. They decided that they're going to reimburse you for the manufacturing cost of the product. Okay. And they want documentation of the manufacturing cost of the product. And if you can't provide documentation, they're going to decide what the manufacturing cost is. And guess what that's going to be? Zero. It's just going to be zero. You're not going to get anything. So, you know, once again, instead of fixing their system, they're going to screw over the third party seller, and the private label sellers too. Anyone who sells, really. It's just, it hurts the third party seller, the guys who do RA more, because our profit margins are very small. I'm lucky to make I'm happy to make $5 on a product. Sometimes it's $3. So you're just happy to make a couple of dollars. But with Amazon, the returns are ridiculous too. It's just I can't tell you how many times I've gotten something back where they took out a part and took out the part they needed, or I just got a box back with nothing in it or something that wasn't the product. And it's just constant babysitting with Amazon, with just everything. And if you ignore one thing, excuse me, you're all of a sudden you're suspended. So you can't win with them. You just can't win. And I'm living proof of that. And I in my research of thinking that maybe this is just happening to me, it's happening to thousands, and in some cases tens of thousands of people. I live in the Chicagoland area, and recently I just saw, because I get these videos from the Amazon seller lawyers, because I use them to help me with my problems with Amazon. And he was just saying that the northern district of Chicago, whatever area that takes in, is the worst with these complaints from Amazon coming through these courts. The worst. So I'm in the worst area for these complaints to come down from the court and Amazon. So I was in a hard place anyway and didn't even know it. So sometimes I'll tell you too, I see some of these resellers making videos all the time and stuff like that. And I feel like sometimes I'm like, I don't think they're selling on Amazon anymore. I think they're just putting on a show. I'm not going to mention any names, but some of these guys who are always like, oh, I'm making $5 on this and I'm making $10 on that. Do they ever show you? Sometimes they don't show you that they actually bought it. I sometimes I just think, someone who was doing the exact same thing I was doing, I don't know how they still have an account, because especially after all this time, because these complaints they're rampant and they're nonstop, and it's constant bombardment with one complaint after the other one. And sometimes you think you can ignore it. And I've tried that in the past and I'll get a phone call from Amazon and they'll be like, you're going to answer this complaint? And I'm like, I wasn't planning on it. They're like, well, we'll suspend you if you don't. So it's up to you. Okay. And then, you send them everything they want. We're not going to accept that. You're suspended. What's happening? What's happening here? So, is Amazon dead for 2025? It's a hard question. I think, for the reseller, for the retail arbitrage guys, the clock's ticking. That's for sure. That is for sure. They are not backing these third-party sellers anymore like they used to. They're not even following their own rules. I got one IP complaint from someone, and I emailed the guy directly, and he answered, and he said, well, I don't own the intellectual property rights, but I do have the exclusive selling rights. So, I send that email to Amazon and a copy and paste of their policy that specifically, at least at the time, I don't know if it's changed, but specifically said, if this person has exclusive selling rights, but not the IP rights, then they cannot file an IP complaint against you. And I sent what he said and the policy, and like, that's not good enough. And I had like 5 products under that one name. So I had 5 IP complaints too. It didn't even count as one. It was 5. And I had a knock. And now this guy is basically extorting me to remove my product. That was it. I have to negotiate with this guy and say, okay, well, if I remove these products, are you going to remove the IP complaint? And he said yes. And he did it, but I was strong-armed into it falsely, and I had no choice, none whatsoever. So at the end of the day, it's definitely dying for at least the retail arbitrage crew, which included myself. Not only did they shut down my account, I had about $5,500 sitting in the account that they took and won't give back. They charged me for removal fees and charged me shipping fees for all my products that they sent back. And you're talking about like thousands of products. And they didn't just put everything in one box either. Every single thing was individually shipped. So they just purposefully screw you over on the whole thing. And then they didn't even use the money that they took away from me to pay for that. They charged me separately. And the card that I had with them now has since expired, and I'm not renewing it. And they've emailed me. They're like, "Oh, you owe us this and you owe us that." I'm like, "You don't know. I don't owe you anything. Take it from the money you stole from me. You know, I don't care. I'll shut down my LLC before I'll give them a penny." So I think that you know at the end, is you kind of think to yourself, is it worth the effort for this RA? It's just too much, stuff that they just keep doing to you over and over and over. Even the private label folks are having a hard time. There was a guy, and it was in another video that I had made, but they regulate your pricing even on private label products. They do it on RA stuff too, but even on private label products, I want to charge $100 for this product on Amazon, and on my website I'll charge 85, because because you're trying to, I know why they do it, because they're trying to cover those fees that Amazon charges. Well, Amazon, their AI system shows that it's selling on this website for this price, so they'll turn around and shut down your Amazon listing and say you can't sell it for that price. But the way they get around the law is they don't tell you what you can sell it for. So they just constantly quote these Fair Pricing Act laws, or whatever they are, policies, and they're crap too. So you're not going to win in the long run. I think they're just looking to cater to big companies, and they want to be Amazon wants to be the third party seller. Now, what's next? A lot of you may not know that Walmart has their own version of FBA. They have it's called WFS, Walmart Fulfillment Services, and you can sell stuff on Walmart the same way you sell it on Amazon. I'm gonna make another video soon here and show you Walmart, because it's still new and it's glitchy. Their website doesn't work the way you think it should work, and it can be difficult to get things listed and shipped. They don't tell you, they don't have a seller app. They have no data, and so it's difficult to list stuff there, because with Amazon there's so much data that you don't even know what to do with it. So you have all this data that will tell you like exactly how many of this product you're going to sell and all this other stuff. Walmart doesn't have any of that. So the downsides to Walmart right now is that their website is glitchy. They don't have a seller app. They have no data on selling stuff, or how their stuff sells, or what it sells for, or how often it's selling. There's no metrics. And the good thing that I've noticed so far, and they also do the pricing thing, so you can't list your stuff for too high. They also have restrictions, but they don't tell you what they are. So the downside is that since they have no seller app, I can't scan a product and be told right away if I can sell it or not, or if I need some kind of pre-approval or anything. The only way for me to find out is if I add it to my catalog, which you don't have to worry about what that means. I'll do a video and I'll do a tutorial, because trust me, the tutorials are not out there for Walmart either. So I'll make one, but you have to add it to your catalog and then wait for an error to come through. And if error doesn't come through, you still got to wait. You still need to wait like a couple of days to make sure that it'll go through, because I had a product, it was Crocs. I had Crocs, and I added it to the catalog, went through, no problem, no errors, no nothing. And then like 2 days later, I got around to creating my shipment to send stuff in, and all of a sudden it said there was an error, and I'm like, huh, that's weird. So I click on it, and it says that Walmart has the exclusive rights to Crocs and you can't sell it. That would have been nice to know when I was buying this thing. So, that's one of the issues. The good thing is that there is very low competition on Walmart right now, very low. Like I'm telling you, when you go to list something on Amazon and you're like, oh, there's like 30 or 40 sellers, that's not so bad. When I see a product and there's more than 3 sellers, I'm like, forget it. That's too many. So, if there's like 2 or 3, if there's 2 or 3 sellers, maybe I'll do it. If there's more than 3 sellers, nope. If I see like 10 sellers, forget it. I'm not going to list it. It's too many sellers. Because they don't have the volume of sales that Amazon does. So, that's eventually that data will come out. Eventually they're going to grow it. But right now it's still in the very early stages. The other thing that's good is that they assign you a rep. So if you have any issues that you can't solve through the website, you can email them and they'll help you. I actually did it twice, and they were great. They were great. They fixed my issue. Even when I create a case on Walmart, for like something that's, doesn't seem right, they've come through. I had one thing that on my end, it was showing that it was good and it should be listed and it should be available for sale. When I go to Walmart, when you click on your product, I'll show you this too, but when you click on your product in your catalog, a little window will pop up and you can view it on walmart.com. So I did that and it said there's none available. It's out of stock. And I was like, that's weird. So I made a case, told them everything, gave them all the information, and they fixed it right away. It was fixed. My stuff is available now. So, they are better at fixing stuff that I've seen so far. It's easier to get to them, to get stuff fixed. But and there's not a huge competition, especially for the pricing. I think there's Repricer out there already, but I haven't changed the price on anything that I listed, and I'm making sales on there already. So, that's not an issue. So, like I said, Amazon is dying for the retail arbitrage folks, and they're doing it on purpose because they want to just eliminate it. They don't like it. And at the end of the day, they can shut down your account for any or no reason according to their own policy. So one day you could just wake up and find out, can't sell on Amazon anymore. Sorry, buddy. And that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. They'll be like, here's the money in your account. We're going to use your credit card to send back all your inventory and have a nice life. I think that will happen one day. If it doesn't happen, because I think they're trying to do it slowly right now to weed out some of the smaller Amazon sellers, and they're going to work their way into the bigger folks pretty soon here. It was, and I almost forgot that Prop 65, I actually won. I beat them, thank God. My lawyer scared the hell out of me about it and said, you have to answer this immediately. I think what happened with me was, at the time I was using a prep center, and the prep center sent me the email that they got from the lawyer about Prop 65, but it had my name all over it and it was addressed to me. So that's why I answered it, and I kept emailing them every Monday. I sent an email every Monday for like 6-7 weeks. And eventually they got back to me and said, no, we're not looking to do anything to you or your account. This was sent to you by mistake. We're not going to do anything now or in the future. And we consider this matter closed. So I was like, thank God. And my lawyer even said, like, she was shocked too. So luckily it's over. I won after harassing them and requesting evidence and telling them I want to see this, I want to see that. And they dropped it. But also, I think at the end of the day, they may have been after the prep center because, obviously I go back and say, I never even saw these products. I sent them to the prep center. It's their responsibility to put these warnings on stuff. So maybe they weren't doing it and they were the ones getting hit. I don't really know. But for me, it's over. So thankfully, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I think I'm hoping that this Amazon is like dead and buried for me, because I don't want to ever hear from them or about them ever again as long as I live. So my next venture is going to be with this Walmart, and I'm just honestly going into it like waiting to be shut down, basically, because you know, that's just where I'm at right now, especially because of what happened to me with Amazon. I just got to go into it expecting to get shut down someday. So that's where everything stands. I just think that if you are doing RA right now on Amazon, you just have to use caution. Um, if it's possible, don't leave a lot of money in that account. I wasn't doing, I know people like, there's a ways to do daily payouts. You know, if you can do that, maybe that's a good idea for you, you know, not to leave hardly any money in that account, because, you know, I'm the example. They can just take it. They can say, nah, we're going to take your money. So, anyways, you know, don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know, try to sell stuff on different platforms if possible, I guess, is another piece of advice I would give. But at the end of the day, I appreciate you guys sticking around and checking out my videos, and definitely keep an eye out for if you're interested in Walmart, WFS, keep an eye out for that video. And I'm also thinking about trying to do a live maybe in the next week or two when I get back from out of town. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time very soon.